What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Baby Jonathan here. Welcome to the latest edition of the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast Show. In today's show, I'm going to be talking about the 3-game road trip versus Denver, Utah, and Portland. Let's talk about it, Laker Nation. My thoughts about the 3-game road trip ain't going to be easy. Tomorrow night, we play the Denver Nuggets, and it's going to be our actual see what we can do after a tough loss. You know what I mean? Usually when we lost to Toronto, we bounced back 7-game winning streak and then 10, and then we'll see where we go. But that game against Denver Nuggets, I got the stats right here, Laker Nation. Jamal Murray's averaging 18.5 points per game, and the Joker is averaging 15.6 points per game and 10 rebounds. We gotta limit that. Will Barton is averaging 15.4 points per game and 7.3 rebounds a game. We need to stop him. And Paul Millsap is averaging 13.5 points per game. Those players I just mentioned, those stats, I know they're averaging a little bit under 18, 15. They can explode for 30, 20, 25. Then I call him the Joker. The Joker, number 15 jersey. Love his game. He's up there with the best big man in the game. He can drop 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. If the Lakers don't compete at a high level, which I think the Lakers will compete at a high level. Here's the thing I want to talk about, Laker Nation. Here's what I want to talk about. You feel me? Here's what I want to talk about. Stop letting teams shoot so many three-pointers on you. Force them to drive. Force them to drive and quit letting them be set and in rhythm. You gotta force them to drive. You got AD, Dwight, and JaVale McGee in the back, and so if you force them to drive, have them try to make a floater or something. You feel me? Because Jamal Murray, let's see here, is shooting 34% from 3. He can shoot the 3 ball, so force him to drive. And also, he can shoot threes time to time, but he's shooting 23% from 3. The only person that shoots the best 3-pointers on the team is Will Barton, which is at 42%, and Paul Millsap is shooting 48% from 3, and Gary Harris 34% from 3. So tomorrow's game, you're gonna have to drive. You're gonna have to force them to drive, because sometimes Lakers do is we give up too many open threes. Sometimes they're wide open. You know what I mean? They're wide open. They could be wide open. Nobody runs out. You have to run out on them. You feel me? Run out on them. That's what I want to see from tomorrow. Force turnovers early. Force them to drive from the 3. Force turnovers and start off better. Because a lot of times Lakers start off cold, and they get down 8 or 9 or 10, and then 11, and then it's 15. I told you guys on my podcast, if the Lakers continue, we're down 20, we'll come back. Easy. I said there's going to be a time point where we're doing it so much, we got caught slipping yesterday versus Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks outscored us in the third quarter 35-17, and it's unacceptable. We also went 1 from 9 for 3. We can't be doing that against teams like Denver, Utah, and Portland, because if we do, we'll get punched in the mouth. But I think we're going to bounce back after a tough loss. Yes, I do, because we got LeBron James, Anthony Davis. We got to feed Anthony Davis a little bit more inside early, and I want to see Kyle Kuzma. I want to see Kyle Kuzma get his rhythm going. He's been struggling lately. You know what I mean? He's been coming back from his injury, but what I'm trying to say is, Laker Nation, he needs to do a better job of scoring the basketball, and maybe the rotation that Frank Vogel has him in is throwing off his rhythm. If you're in there, go to the basket early, get to the free throw line, get your confidence up, Kyle Kuzma. Get your confidence up. Because you've been struggling since you got put to the bench role. You know what I mean? Maybe at the end of the day, Kyle Kuzma's more of a starter than a bench player, in my opinion. Because I noticed last year when he started, he dropped 30 points. He dropped 25, 26 points. And when he's on the bench, only 15 points. So I think if I was Frank Vogel, I would just try to start Kuzma in the near future. But that's just me, in my opinion. But like I'm saying, man, and when we're up early, when you're up 10, don't just... Like tomorrow's perfect example. If we're up 10 versus Denver, we're up 10. Don't be relaxed. Because that's what happened yesterday. You're up 10 against Dallas. They came back and beat you by how much we lost by 10. 114, 110. You feel me? We gotta start, when we're up early, keep building, and move the extra pass. Move the ball from side to side, set down screens, cut to the basket. Because sometimes when we get down 10, we start doing ISO basketball. We don't share it as much. But when we play Laker basketball, playing defense, run the floor, throwing lobs, when we did against Washington on Friday, that's how the Lakers should play every night. versus the teams of Dallas, Denver, Utah, and Portland. If we can play like that, like we did on Friday, and put it into tomorrow's game, we can blow out Denver. But I know we're not gonna blow them out. It's gonna be an uphill battle because this Denver team's second in the West, and we could possibly see them down the road in the West Conference Finals. You feel me? So I feel like we'll win tomorrow. We'll be bounced back. We'll be 18-3, and then we got it back to back. After we play Denver, we gotta fly all the way to Utah. You feel me? We gotta fly all the way to Utah. Utah ain't going back down because they got it's a European name, so excuse me for the pronunciation. Bogdanovic. I call him Bogdanovic. He's averaging 21 points per game. He can shoot the three, force him to drive against Utah Wednesday. And Mike Conley's averaging 14 points a game. Rudy Gobert at 13 points. So this Utah team got blown out by 40 points last night against Toronto. That doesn't mean anything because Utah always gears up for the Lakers. But for what the Lakers need to do is force Bogdanovic to drive. Force him to drive because he's shooting 45% from three. You don't want him, if you leave him wide open, he's going to drop 30 points because he's capable of dropping 30 points on you. You know what I mean? He done it in Indiana. He done it when he was in Brooklyn. He's capable of scoring 30 points. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's a just good 3-point shooter. So we have to limit Rudy Gobert. Offense rebounding is going to be a key for the game on this upcoming road trip because we've been getting out rebounded. The second chance points have been horrible. We got to do a better job of that versus Denver and Utah and Portland too because Utah has big fellas. They got Rudy Gobert and Jeff Green, Joe Ingles, Donovan Mitchell. They got guys that can do a good job at rebounding. But Donovan Mitchell's averaging 24 points per game. He can explode for 30. He had a bad game. And he shoots 37% from three, but we have to limit these players. Even though Joe Ingles is averaging 7 points a game, he can explode for 18 and 10. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He's capable of doing it. And he can shoot the three ball really well. I have the stats right here. His 3-point percentage this year is 30%, but these players can shoot the three really well. And you don't want players to get confidence. You know what I mean? Even though he's averaging 7 points a game, Joe Ingles can get his rhythm going if he wants to. But I think Lakers need to do a better job of coming out early, forcing the trap, get the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands, Mike Conley's hands. Because Mike Conley could drop 25 points too. He's capable, even though he's averaging 14 points a game, he can explode for 30. He loves to play great against Lakers. Just this Utah team's going to be tough. Rudy Gobert, it's going to be a tough matchup for Anthony Davis. Rudy Gobert can block shots, protect the paint. We got to maybe do that switch that the Lakers always get caught in when it's Chris Paul. Because I remember a lot of times we have a hard time when we switch onto a point guard. We have a hard time stopping him. So maybe the Lakers need to do is bring Rudy Gobert out to the to the perimeter, just drive, kick out. You feel me? And our team needs to make our three-pointers. Dan Green needs to step up. KCP's been stepping up. Rondo needs to do a better job of facilitating, scoring the basketball. This road trip right here is going to be one of those road trips where, okay, we beat the teams that we need to beat. Now let's see how we play against Denver, Utah, Portland. If we can beat those teams, we're good. You feel me? But I just feel like we need to do a better job coming out early, playing smart, and when you're up big, dominate. And when you get up early, like I said earlier on the Denver game, when you get up early on Utah, don't relax. Because sometimes it's good. Sometimes when you're up 10 or 15, you go, oh, and then you look up, oh, we're tied. You can't be doing that. You got to continue to execute, move the ball from side to side, pretend you're down 10 or 15 so you can play better. But I noticed sometimes, here's for me as a fan, the loss yesterday is actually a good thing in the sense of Lakers got punched in the mouth and they realized they need to do a better job starting strong. And it's always good to get punched in the mouth as a team so you can learn from it, watch film, get better each and every game. And I feel like Frank Vogel's going to, and his staff, Jason Kidd, Lionel Hollins, are going to watch film, put in a great game plan for this 3-game road trip. And I feel like Frank Vogel and the staff is going to put us in the best position to win in this 3-game road trip, because I feel like this team, man, is resiliency, hustle, grit, grind. But hey, it may also, Laker Nation, don't panic if we go on a 2-game losing streak, 3-game losing streak. It's part of basketball. I always have to say this in every podcast. All those championship teams behind me that won, lost 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, ups and downs. It's part of the journey to win the championship. There's going to be times where we're like, it's part of it. So it may happen on this road trip, it may happen down the line. It's part of basketball. So don't get frustrated. And if we lose a couple games, don't say fire Frank Vogel. Don't be saying fire Frank Vogel. Trade KCP, trade Kuzma, trade Anthony Davis. Don't do that. It's a long season. Ups and downs are going to happen in basketball. It's a journey. The marathon continues. Journey's going to be ups and downs. It's not going to be all, yeah, we got this. We're chilling on the bench. Nope. It's going to be competitive each and every night. And I really think that this road trip is going to be a good test for us. I really like these tests for us so we can see where we're at down the line. And the final game on the road trip versus Portland. That hostile environment, Damian Lillard is averaging 27.3 points per game. Whiteside is averaging 12.4 rebounds a game with, let me see here, how many points per game? 14 and 12 for Hassan Whiteside, 22 for CJ McCollum, and they picked up Carmelo Anthony, which is doing a great job in Portland. Shout out to you, Carmelo, man. Welcome back to the NBA, man. It feels good to have you back in the league, man. Wish you on the Lakers, but we got Jarrett Dudley instead. It's all good. I'm not tripping. And also, Carmelo Anthony's averaging 17 points per game. They got 3 really good scorers. CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard, Carmelo Anthony. All those players I just mentioned can go for 30, 40, maybe even 50. Damian Lillard is capable of going 50. Carmelo Anthony is capable of going for 50 or 40. Same as CJ McCollum. So what the Lakers need to do is, it's gonna be tough to defend Damian Lillard, because it's always tough to defend Damian Lillard. But maybe do a better job of trapping him, force him to turn the ball over. Maybe have a Rodney Hood get off. He's averaging 12.2 points per game, and they got Zach Collins is averaging 9 points. Again, they kept Bazemore averaging 7, but they got guys on this roster that I'm looking at right now on the stats that are capable of going for 20, 25. We gotta limit the turnovers versus Denver or versus Portland, because if we don't, they can get in transition, shoot 3, and we don't want that. You know what I mean? We don't want that, because, like I said, 3-pointers. Lillard's shooting 36% from 3, forcing the drive. This whole road trip, Lakers forced the teams I'm talked about earlier, force them to drive. And Rodney Hood is shooting 50% from 3. You do not want him to be out there in 3-point. Force him to drive, or have somebody else shoot the 3. Have Kent Bazemore shoot 3. He's shooting 32%. You know what I mean? Make somebody else try to beat you. If it's Damian Lillard, damn. But if it's Rodney Hood or Zach Collins or Kent Bazemore or Anthony Tolliver, oh well. Play defense. Play defense. The Lakers need to start off early, like I said. And the turnovers have been killing us. Second chance points, killing us. The offensive rebounding. They got guys that can rebound. Whiteside, Zach Collins. Zach Collins can rebound, pick and pop. He can shoot the 3. So we got to limit that, and we got to limit fouling. We foul too much. We got to keep teams off the free throw line. Also, so for against Denver and Utah, we got to limit fouling. Stop putting teams to the free throw line. Stop being in foul territory early. Stop letting the teams get to the free throw line early. Sometimes we run out of fouls and they shoot free throws all the time. We gotta play better defense. Come out with aggression, hustle, grit, grind. And I want to see LeBron. Here's what I'm seeing from LeBron. Not disrespecting him. Not talking disrespectful. This is how I see it. Passive, 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 and then he takes over and throws over. LeBron, on this 3-game road trip, we need you to be the LeBron James. Like I know I see you when you were with Miami and Cleveland. Dominate, take over. I know you're a pass-first player, but sometimes you need to have that, give me the ball, clear out, and 1. What's up? Sometimes you need to do that, but you do it all the time. But I understand that you're a pass-first player, and I have to be patient with that. I'm still patient with it. So maybe he's trying to get everybody involved and take over. But I want him to take over when We need him. When Anthony Davis is struggling, when Kuzma, when everybody's struggling on the team, LeBron's going to have to lead us sometimes during this road trip. During this season, he's going to have to put in a big performance. You know what I mean? It's part of the game. You know what I mean? I want to see him step up. I want to see AD step up. And if LeBron's not having a good night, I want to see Anthony Davis go to the basket. Easy. He can go by anybody. But in that fourth quarter against Dallas, because Dallas played zone, and Anthony Davis stood out there on the three-point line. You got to put the ball in the post. First, on this road trip, I want to see Lakers put the ball inside, and if you're beating the team in points in the paint, continue to do that. Don't go to a different scheme, because that's what happened in against Dallas. In the second half, or in the first half, we're dominating the post. Anthony Davis was dunking on people, yelling, screaming. He was blocking shots. In the second half, went out the window. So for this road trip, I want to see us continue to do the little things, deflecting the passing lane, just hustle. And the offense rebound has been killing us. Get offensive rebounds, putbacks. We need to start doing that. Turn the ball over. It's been killing us as well. Like against against Dallas, we had 16 turnovers. Unacceptable. LeBron had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter, but that doesn't matter. We moved on from it. What I'm saying is, we got to stop having those lapses where we go ice cold from the field. If you're cold from the field as a team, you get to the basket, get to free throw line, get confidence in your shot, and as a team. But it's going to be an interesting 3-game road trip, and I feel like we're going to be battle tested, and I feel like at the end of the day, we're going to overcome this. And I'm going to be realistic. Do I think we'll beat Denver? Yeah, I think we'll beat Denver. Do I think we'll beat Utah? Yeah. Do I think we'll beat Portland? Yeah. But do I think we'll be 2-1 on this road trip? I'm going to say yeah. Because we're coming off of a back-to-back Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Friday, I think we'll win against Denver, win against Utah, and then probably lose on Friday. I don't know. I'm not being negative. I'm just being 100. Sometimes we always have a hard time playing in Portland, Utah, and Denver. So it's going to be a tough game. But do I think we'll go undefeated or 3-0? I think we'll go 2-1 at best, or 0-3. You never know. It's part of the NBA. You feel me? I just keep it 100 on this podcast about anybody on the team. And that's it for my thoughts about the 3-game road trip. And I'm going to end this Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast show. I'm going to leave all my social media in the description. Make sure you follow me on all those platforms, man. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast show. Turn on the post notifications. Leave a like, comment, and let me know what you think of the podcast. I love talking to my Laker family, man. I love engaging and talking Lakers and debating about certain topics too. Lakers, NBA, all around. And if you want to be on my podcast on Anchor, follow me on Instagram. DM me a day and time you can be on the podcast. Just download the app, Anchor, create an account, set up a time and date. Love to have some of my fans on my podcast. But until then, everybody, have a great night. Lakers, the best team in LA. Laker Nation.